Hello everyone, this is a casting call for Second Empire. I'm going to be going through all the characters, all the groups that need voices. Anyone that's done voices with me before and wants to do some more, I've no objection to that. I've not put a limit on how many voices one person can do. They don't, as far as what they need to sound like, that's pretty much up to you. The only thing I ask is if you're doing a specific character, that you try and keep the voice consistent. Okay, so the first group we have is the ground crew, which is these green Daleks. They appear in the next sequence they appear in is the big fight between Agent 700. You see these type of Daleks, and one in the power loader. I can't say if they'll appear again in the comic. There's probably a good few pages worth of lines, so they're a pretty big part. The next is miscellaneous Daleks. Now these are Daleks I don't have any pictures of because they're just too random. They're Daleks that appear once or maybe twice, and maybe one or two lines at a time. So that would probably be a page worth of lines. The next group is the fighter pilots. These are Daleks that, as the name suggests, fly the combat hoverbouts or are involved in space combat. The next time they appear is in the pursuit of Agent 700. Got a big space battle, well not, air battle. That should be fun to animate. That will also include the pilots of these Sorcerer ships, and when it comes to the big space battle at the end, these type of guys, and the hoverbouts that attack the fortress. So look at my list. Next is the Stooges. Now this is what I've called these three Daleks. We've got Grezol, not listening, who doesn't listen, and Driver, who is the one that's always asking to drive the transporter. These guys appear quite a few times in the comic, and I might want to do some more stuff with them. So I'd say this is probably 4 or 5 pages worth of lines. These are 3 characters, but I'm treating them as one part. What I could do if I could find 3 people that wanted to voice each of them. The only problem with that is remembering who does what voice. The next is the Surveyor Crew, and that's these Daleks that appear in these Surveyor ships. These guys as well, and also the ones that get blown up. I haven't got a picture of that because I've not saved it. Someone's messaging me on Facebook. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Yeah, so this is probably a page worth of lines, and there's about 4 or 5 different characters, but they only appear once, so it doesn't really matter if they sound the same. Next, what's next? Okay, next we have Courageous, who's the captain of the ship that leads the fleet that Turd is with. And also in the same group is his first mate. About 2-3 pages worth of lines. That's for both characters. Staying with Turd's forces, we have Kreml, who's in charge of the combat engineers, or the sappers. Speaking of sappers, we have these guys. They have a few lines when they're under attack. And stupid me, haven't shaved the picture. Shaved? I sound like Sean Connery. So I'll be adding like these Daleks fighting, and they'll be sending exterminate, and maybe give them a bit more of a part rather than the Imperials. As well with that group we have the Nutrient Preparation Brigade. That's these guys. They have 1 page worth of lines. It's about 4 characters, mostly saying 1 or 2 lines each. And as well as the accountant Daleks. Now, Philip, Owen, I know you have voiced 1, so I don't know if you wanted to voice the rest. Also, Philip and Nathan, I know you said you wanted to voice the Imperials and Renegades for the series. Do you want to take on all of those parts, as in for like the big end battle, or would you like me to split it up and have you do specific characters in that set? Just let me know and I will get that to you. Also, Philip, I've got some 3rd Army Daleks here. I know that you voiced the ones that appear in the Attack on Slept, so if you want to voice them, I'll send those lines to you as well. Also, something you might be interested in, I am doing the parts for the Onslaught. 6 characters: Storm, Blizzard, Cyclone, Monsoon, Tempest and Drizzle. What I will do is, if one person wants to take these on, that's fine. My thoughts on these voices, they should sound probably like beefy, heavy weapons Daleks. If you've heard the audio Genocide Machine, I like the sound of the special weapons Dalek in that. But I suppose we can work out the voice as when it comes trying to make them, because at the minute I've only got Storm. I haven't dared ask for these yet because I haven't got this fine animating. Okay, next we have the most terrifying character I've ever seen in the Second Empire, and in terrifying I mean in terms of animation. It's Quadzilla does not, and he has 1 line, actually 2 voices. He's Glurpy Blurpy Slurp, and then his translated voice, which to me sounds a little bit Gunganish. So if someone wants to take that on, again that's just 1 line, well 2 lines, but 2 lines, 2 voices. Thank you. Next we have the Mega Sorcerer Crew, which are the Orange Daleks. I could do these voices since I did the Fortress Daleks very badly, but I want to avoid doing any more voices because I'm really not very good at it. I want to give it to more talented people. And also we have General Venom, who has 3 or 4 lines at the minute. I'm not sure if he'll appear again. Next we have the Spaceborne Troopers, which appear a couple of times, and they're kind of like the drop troopers, so I thought they could sound like the British Army in the old World War II films, like Vito chaps and all that. Next we have SubCommander Zelveneral. Probably pronounced that wrong. The dude with the sword. I've already decided to do a couple of more things with him. This whole battle is going to be extended by, it's going to be like a movie in itself, because I really want to give the sense of the Second Empire losing. Don't get me wrong, the stuff in it is awesome, but I can afford to do a little bit more with it. Next up is the Siege Lord crew, which is the crew of the massive Dalek. It's about 4 or 5 characters, 2 pages of lines. You see how massive these things are compared to Daleks. Next we have the combat mechanics, who possibly appear in some of the most awesome pieces of 3D artwork I've ever seen, when you get to see inside all the Daleks. They appear a couple of times. No idea for voices for these guys, so that would be a fun little group of characters to do. And in terms of animation, these guys are scary because they've got 8 legs, and legs, although I suppose they're robots, so it won't be too bad. Just loop the walk cycle. The spider Daleks, they appear, let's say, in about half a page worth of lines. Not sure if they should have like a buzzy, insecty quality to them. Maybe that would be cool. Poor Zonzola Knight. Speaking of the sappers earlier, the blue Daleks, if you do them, you'll be getting these guys as well. That appear, the Imperial sappers. And finally, for now, we have the shock troopers. Now these do fall under Imperials, so Philip, I'm not sure if you wanted to voice these guys, or if you wouldn't mind me giving it out as another part, if anyone is interested. If not, you're more than welcome to do it. I just don't want to overload you with lines, since if you take on the Imperials, you've got a fair few lines. Oh, and while I remember, I noticed in the cast list that you put yourself down for Tempest, which is one of the Onslaught. Are you still interested? Let me know. Okay, so if you are interested in doing some lines, please send an audition line. It could either be one of the characters saying their lines or you doing your best Dalek. Remember, these guys aren't proper classic. Remember, these guys aren't classic Daleks, so they will be getting lines that maybe our Daleks wouldn't say, which is the fun part of them. If you send it to the email address in the description below, with the subject line Second Empire voices, and then state which character or characters you want to do. Also state your full name, or the name you'd like to be put down as in the credits. And also if you've got a YouTube channel, because when I release episodes, or recently since about episode 4, I've been putting everyone's YouTube channel in the description. So hope to hear from you guys soon, and hopefully Facebook will leave me alone. Hope to hear from you guys soon. Bye.